The Energy and Water Development Subcommittee hearing is now open. Welcome, everyone. I want to especially welcome Secretary Jennifer Granholm to the Energy and Water Subcommittee this morning to discuss the fiscal year 2025 budget request for the Department of Energy. But before I do that, Madam Secretary, and to my distinguished ranking member, Ms. Capter, and to the staff, I want to thank you for the job that we all did, our subcommittee, the Senate, the administration, yourself, to put together the fiscal 2024 bill that we just recently passed in a tranche of 6 bills. Let's face it, we serve in very arduous times. There are very strong ideas on both sides and different avocations, but to put together the energy and water bill that we did for the people of this great nation was no small task, and I thank you and everyone involved with that. Having said that, we move forward with 2025. Madam Secretary, thank you again for being here. I want to address the 2025 issues, but as you know, one of my strongest priorities in Congress has been, for years, nuclear energy. All aspects of nuclear energy, the front end of the fuel cycle, the back end of the fuel cycle, and all that it entails. And of course, in 2024, we worked very hard to preserve the Generation 3 projects, which was very good with $900 million. HALEU, we worked together to get $2.7 billion in the budget so that we can have a domestic American HALEU project, which we will need for our advanced Gen 4 reactors. So again, large areas of agreement in that realm, and we got that done. And it's in that spirit that I hope we can continue in fiscal 2025. The Department of Energy's fiscal 2025 budget request is approximately $52 billion. It's an increase of $1.8 billion above fiscal 2024. I strongly support many of the programs and activities of the Department of Energy. For example, our nation's strategic defense rests on a strong nuclear deterrent. So I was pleased to see that the budget request proposes an increased funding for the National Nuclear Security Administration, the NNSA. The request would continue funding the uranium processing facility in my home district in East Tennessee, as well as plutonium pit production, ongoing life extension programs, the Sea Launch Cruise Missile nuclear, and a new variant of the B-61 gravity bomb. And I thank you for that. We will work with the administration today and over the coming weeks to determine whether the request represents sufficient funding and the appropriate prioritization for the continued modernization of our nuclear weapons complex. Another high priority for me is the Office of Science. I worked hard to secure increased funding in the Fiscal 24 Act, one of the few non-defense increases across the department. A strong Office of Science is critical, in my view, to America's role as the global leader of scientific discovery. Madam Secretary, I look forward to discussing with you today how the request addresses activities related to fusion energy and isotopes in particular. Unfortunately, I also have concerns with some of the Biden administration's priorities expressed in the fiscal 2025 budget request through other actions of the department. The Department of Energy is sitting on tens of billions of unobligated dollars intended to advance a variety of energy technologies. Yet rather than focusing on the effective implementation of those existing programs, the budget again proposes many new programs, including, in my view, disproportionate and unsustainable increases for energy efficiency and renewable energy activities. The administration, again, has highlighted clean energy and climate change goals as key drivers of the budget request. Nuclear energy, a baseload carbon-free source of electricity, will be, in my view, essential in achieving any climate change goals. Yet, the nuclear energy program is one of the only cuts proposed in the budget request. Especially concerning is that the request includes no funding for the 2 ongoing advanced reactor demonstration projects, which we feel have gone very well. We know these projects will need additional funding, and it would be better to continue incremental funding each year for these projects, in our view. Some of the department's actions also raise concerns about energy security for America and for our allies. Numerous energy efficiency standards have been proposed, in my view, at such extreme levels as to significantly increase prices for consumers and cause supply concern. I was pleased to see the department backtrack on the gas stoves rule, and I hope to see similar adjustment to reality on the distribution, transformers, and manufacturing housing rules. As the Secretary knows, I've been a long-term proponent of the manufacturing housing industry. This is the beginning of the American dream for many lower-income Americans, and we want to make sure that is there. The department's recent pause on reviewing pending LNG export applications is also a serious concern. I hope we will have the chance to discuss some of these actions in more detail. Once again, Secretary Granholm, I appreciate you being here today to explain your budget request. I look forward to working together with you and my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to move forward a budget that will strengthen our national security and advance our energy independence. Please ensure for us that the hearing record, questions for the record, and any supporting information requested by the subcommittee are delivered to us in final form to us no later than 4 weeks from the time you receive them. Members who have additional questions for the record will have the close of business Monday to provide them to the subcommittee office. Before I turn to my ranking member, I do want to say this. Again, I thank you. I look forward to working with you